microphone off. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How is everybody doing out there on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon? Yes, yes, yes. Welcome. Hi, Rod Smith. Hello, how are you? Hey, Lorna Smith. Thanks for the hearts. I just love all the hearts. All right. So, guys, welcome back. This is Elaine Proby, CEO of Proby's Tax and Accounting, and tips from Elaine's desk. Here, giving you guys your weekly update as far as personal and business matters are concerned. One of the things is that we want to make sure that everybody is on the right track, moving forward diligently in 2023 in your personal and your business lives. And there's a Facebook user. Good afternoon, sis. All right. Good afternoon. All right. So let's jump right into this today. We want to talk about 3 ways to keep your business in compliance. We keep talking about making sure that your business are on the right path. And one of the most important things is staying in compliance, because the quickest way for your business to get shut down and just completely out of business is not to be in compliance. Now, this is so serious. And I want to make sure that you guys are pretty much aware of all the things that you have to do to stay in compliance. Hi, Sharon Ellis. Hi, my tax lady. How you doing, my client? All right. Thanks for jumping on here. Yes. Okay. So the quickest way to get shut down and not being able to operate is not to stay in business compliance. And let's go over a few of the most important things that you have to do today. We're going to talk about 3 ways to keep your business in compliance. And these are super serious. Okay. So let's jump right into this. The first one, guys, is your licenses. Now, the reason licenses are important because when you started your business, you had to get certain types of license. Now, let's talk about the business license. First of all, a lot of times, depending on what city you're in, what state, wherever you're operating from, you have to have some type of city license, some type of city permit. You have to make sure that the business is registered and ready to start doing business. So that's one of the first things that you have to do when you open your business, when you start. Now, these licenses are what I'm talking about. These are things that has to be renewed on a regular basis, right? Sometimes some of these licenses are annual renewals, certain occupational license, or maybe every 2 years. So just make sure that depending on the license that you do have, that you're operating from, you know when it's time for it to be renewed, and make sure that you renew those licenses. So you have to make sure that you renew your business license, your city tax registration, depending on what city you're in. Guys, for those of you who have a HEP permit in your business that you're operating, you have to make sure those things are renewed on a regular basis. Make sure they're renewed on time. If you don't have a calendar for when the stuff is due, make one. Go check them all out now, see what the date is, see when it's expiring, and make sure that you know when it's time for you to renew it, so you can renew it well in advance, as opposed to letting it completely expire and then having to start over. All right. So those people who are selling liquor, your liquor license have to be renewed. People who are selling lottery, your lottery license have to be renewed. So resale permits, those of you who are reselling merchandise, you have to make sure that you are filing those taxes so that that permit stays current, because once you don't do that, then that permit is null and void. So you don't want to be able to get caught operating with licenses that are not valid. People who are, there's occupational license, right? So people who are contractors, people who are like nurses in the business, you guys have to renew your nurse's license, your RN license. You have to go and apply for those things and renew those things on an annual basis or semi-annual basis. All the occupational contractors licenses, all that stuff, guys, make sure that you know when you have to renew these licenses, because if you get caught operating without these licenses, if you're a contractor and you get caught operating without your license being in place, it's serious fines and a lot of serious penalties. You know what I mean? You don't want to be banned from even doing the trade. So make sure, guys, it's so important, very serious, that you stay on top of your license, especially people in the occupational trade. It's very hard to sometimes get those licenses renewed or get them reinstated, and it costs unnecessary penalties if you don't do this on time. Okay, so the first thing to stay in compliance is to make sure that all your licenses, go right now, check all those licenses, see what the date is for renewal. Again, some might be annually, some might be semi-annual, biannually, probably every 2 years or what have you, but make sure that you know when that's due. Okay. First and foremost, that's the number one point I want to make today. We're talking about 3 ways to keep your business in compliance, guys, and we are talking about these 3 important things for you to be able to stay valid and stay in business and stay legal, right? Second point today Let's get into reporting. All right. So if you guys, for instance, if you're in the state of California and you have an LLC or you have a corporation, you got to file an annual report with the Secretary of State here in California. And it depends on what other state you're in and what their requirements are. You need to know what that is. So you have to file a report every year. You have to file what is called a statement of information here with, say, our Secretary of State. You have to tell them who the officers are, who are all the people who are on the board, or you have to, board of directors. You have to put that information on a piece of paper. You have to file it with these guys. And in most cases, if it's a for-profit business, it only costs you $25 or nonprofit $20. But guess what happens if you don't file the stuff? If you don't file it, there could be a $250 penalty if you do not file just a simple statement of information, which initially was only going to cost you $25, right? And so you have to do that. And then the other serious thing that takes place when you don't do this stuff is that it puts you into a status of where now you're suspended. No, you're not able to do business. No, you should not be signing any contract. Now you can't get a certificate of good standings. Now you can't do business with another state. You know what I mean? You can't even get a loan. You can't do any type of banking situation because once you're out of compliance and your business is no longer in good standings with the state, you can't even open a bank account. So there's so many things that goes wrong simply because we have to stay on top of staying in compliance, renewing these licenses, filing these reports on time, and pay what is necessary at that moment so it don't cost us unnecessary penalties and fees and trying to dig ourselves out the hole all the time. All right, so super important, guys. Your annual reports has to be done on a regular basis. Again, if you are not sure when these things are due, go and check it now. Check your records now. Go check your license now. See what the date is when you have to report, when you have to renew those things, and make sure that they're done on time. Okay, because again, operating without the proper licensing and certification and permits in place that are valid can put you straight out of business, and then all the work that you put in just go right down the tubes. And now you have to pay someone to get you out of the hole, someone to get you back in compliance, someone you have to pay all this extra money. I'm just saying, let's not make this happen. If you are not able to understand all the stuff that you have to do, then get a professional person to assist you with the process and make sure that it gets done. All right. So Facebook user says, so true. That's right. Okay. So that's the second point today. Again, I get 3 ways to keep your business in compliance so you can operate legally, guys. And that's what we're talking about today. And the third point today, and this one right here is so serious because it can create so much problem for you. And that's the tax compliance, right? Super important, totally essential. You have to know when taxes are due. What type of taxes do you have to file, when they are due, right? What is needed to make sure this gets done. And obviously, if it's not something you can do yourself, take it to a tax professional. Take it to a tax professional. Take it to Provis Tax and Accounting. This is the thing. You have to know what type of taxes are due. There's city taxes that you have to file on a regular basis, an annual basis. There's sales taxes. People who are selling, if you're in the state of California, you have to file these sales taxes quarterly. Some people have to do them every 6 months. Some people are maybe on an annual, depending on your sales. And you have to make sure you file those things. And people who are reporting a lot of sales, they have to do estimated payments every single month. So you have to make sure that this is done. Again, penalties, they won't penalize you for all this stuff because, hey, if you are in business, you're supposed to make sure that everything is in order, right? Payroll taxes, super important. You guys, if you have people on the payroll and you're paying them, you take out money out of their paycheck, you must send it to the government. You have to file those payroll taxes on time. They fine you so strictly, and these fines or penalties are very high. And if you don't pay payroll taxes, it could lead to a whole lot of serious problems, legal problems. It can fall back on you as an individual because you deduct these taxes from your employees and you didn't send them to the government. It is a whole lot of mess that will take place if, in fact, you're not on top of this stuff, right? So make sure that your payroll taxes, your income taxes, your federal and state taxes, make sure that those are also filed. Once again, you have to know what taxes you have to file. Then you have to know when these taxes are due, right? So guys, if you don't know this and you can't figure this out by yourself, it's so important. Make sure that you get a professional. Make sure you get a professional. You know, I have clients who would make a calendar, or sometimes I would send them a calendar and tell them what taxes they're due and when, so that they know when to expect to file those taxes, renew those licenses, renew their file their taxes on time, and make sure that they're not in jeopardy of, you know, late filing penalties and all this other stuff that will happen if you don't file those taxes on time, right? And so there are other taxes too, again, for people who are doing maybe trucking. There's these heavy duty taxes that have to be filed as well. And all these taxes are due at different times of the year. Some is due in May, nonprofit is due in May, you know, your regular corporate taxes is due in March, your personal taxes due in April. So, you know, there's different times these taxes are due. So again, it could be very confusing. It's a whole lot. Again, you must make sure that if you don't have a calendar and know when these things are due and do them. Of course, why are you in business if you're not going to stay on top of the most important things, which is staying in compliance so you can continue to operate legally, right? You don't run the risk of somebody walking in and closing the doors. Okay, guys, so let me recap again. All right, let me go over these 3 points. 3 ways to keep your business in compliance so you can continue to operate legally, guys. Today, the first one is licenses. Make sure that all your licenses are renewed, right? When you started your business, you know what license you have to get. Make sure that they're all renewed on a timely basis and pay whatever fee that is so you don't have to pay anything extra. The second point today is making sure that all your reports, if you have to file your statement of information, some people are in business where they got to file things like state reports, cost reports, different stuff that goes to the state or goes to different agencies that they're doing business with, to certain reports that has to go into these people. You have to make sure those are done because there's serious consequences if that's not happening, okay? And the third point today is your taxes. Most essential, filing those taxes on time, making sure that you don't run into an illegal situation like payroll taxes withheld and not paid into the government, your business taxes, corporate taxes, state and federal filing. And it all depends on where you're operating from. Some states you don't have to file state taxes, but they still ask for some type of informational report that goes into them, all right? Although you don't pay any state taxes. So guys, those are my 3 points today. Making it very simple. 3 ways to keep your business in compliance. All right. So, of course, I want to bring it back. Make sure watching Tips from Elaine says, I want to bring it back to make sure that you guys know. I know it sounds like a whole lot, but of course, this is not anything that you have to necessarily do on your own. By hiring a professional, I want you guys to know that Probus Tax and Accounting Service is here to assist you guys in any one of these areas that you need to get assistance with. You can give us a call at 323-290-9034 and or go to our website at probustax.com. You can go on there, you can make an appointment, you can upload information on our secure website to get any of this stuff done. And if you guys want to have any type of consultation with me because you're unsure of what this is, maybe you're new in business, maybe you've been operating for a while, maybe you weren't so sure of all these different types of licenses and taxes and reports that your business has to do. Sometimes people hear about this too late. They try to do something. They go somewhere trying to do a contract. Someone call and ask them for a certificate of good standing, and they find out that their corporation is suspended. And then now we're backtracking, trying to get this up. Sometimes this process takes a while, and it could really jeopardize a contract that you might be in the middle of signing or some work that you might be able to get right away, payments you might not be able to receive. Guys, it is very crucial to make sure that you stay in compliance. Hi, Kodiak. Thanks for jumping in here. Hi, Mom. Hi, daughter. How are you? Thanks for jumping in. Okay, so you guys, we are here to assist you with the process at Probus Tax and Accounting. Okay, so just make sure that you are not out there alone. There's answers to all these questions, and there's a way to get it all done. And so we can do that here for you. Now, make sure, she said, we're watching Tips from Elaine's Desk, and you guys, we're here every Tuesday and Thursday. And for those of you who still need to get your business started, again, go to elainesdesk.com. There's great information there. There's a free webinar that tells you a lot of stuff that you need to know. I just had a consultation meeting with someone last night who is been thinking about starting a business for a while. And first thing I told him, I said, go to Elaine'sDesk.com, check out that webinar. It's free. And there's also a course on there to tell you everything you need to know to get your business started. Okay, so Elaine'sDesk.com, go there and check it out, guys. All you gotta do is put your email address in and all the information is there. All right. So with that said, I want you guys to come back here on Thursday for some more information. This is all free stuff. This is great. I've got so many good feedback from people who goes back and listen to these videos and use this information. All right. So all right, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. All right. So come back here on Thursday. Make sure that your notification is on. Come back here on Thursday. And what are we talking about on Thursday? On Thursday, we have some more great stuff for you guys. And then, of course, feel free to put any questions in the chat. If you guys, hit like and share this video. If you have any questions that you wanted to put in the chat, feel free to put that in the chat. And I'll come back to here and answer those questions, because a lot of times people would ask questions after the video is over, after the live is done. And I'll come back through and answer those questions for you, okay? So anyway, with that said, I'll be back here on Thursday at 1 p.m. And I want you guys to make sure that you guys take care of each other and take care of yourself, right? Let's stay in compliance and let's stay straight, because 2023, like I said, is our year, right? It is. We're going to make millions, all right? Okay, with that said, I want you guys to have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday afternoon. I'll see you back here on Thursday. Bye-bye.